doing it, so.
Okay. I'll press the button. There you go.
Alright. How are you doing today? My name is India Gibson, and I am from San Roque, Alabama. Originally from New York, and I have been making soap for about 6 years, a little bit more than 6 years, and love doing it. Would love to be able to do it full time. So I'm going to demonstrate making a batch of lye soap. And I'm kind of poured everything out to measure it, to kind of condense some of the time. And so what I have in here are my oils. And the oils that I've used is olive oil, coconut oil, babasu oil, rice bran oil, castor oil, and organic palm oil. So you're like, okay, some of those oils sound foreign to me. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the oils. Like rice bran and olive oil are very moisturizing to your skin, so that adds the moisturizer to the soap. Your coconut oil makes for a nice lather as well as a hard bar of soap. And the same with the babasu. And babasu oil can also be compared to lard. I know if you ever made soap or knew of family members that made soap back in the day, they would use lard. So lard is the animal version, and babasu oil would be the vegetable version of the lard. Okay, because some people are particular about, oh, I don't want to use anything that's got animal products in it. So that's why I make a vegan, what's called a vegan soap, which has no animal products. And then I do make some soaps that do have the animal products. Like I'll make soaps with goat's milk. I'll make it with beer. I've made it with soda. I've made it with whipping cream. I mean, the possibilities are endless of what you can add to a soap. You can add herbs. You can use fragrance oils. Or if you want totally natural, you can use essential oils. I'm not too big on essential oils, although a lot of people are, but to me, I'm what you call a fragrance whore. So it's like, I love fragrances. I don't have just one favorite fragrance. I have lots of them. So that's why I tend to lean towards the fragrance oils. But like I said, I've been doing this for about almost 7 years. I do have a website, and I sell online, and I also go to a lot of shows around Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee area, and set up and sell my soaps. I hope to one day be able to do it full time. I work full time right now, so this is my side project, one of my side projects. So that's what we're doing today. I've got, like I said, this is my oils. Let's see, what's that babasu? Castor oil, also used, which makes for a nice, rich, thick lather in your soap. So by the time you finish with this soap, it's not like grandma used to make, where they say take the hide off your skin. This will be very good for your skin. It's moisturizing, it's conditioning, it's not drying. Like I said, to formulate a soap, the possibilities are endless on what you can use and add to make a soap. Alright? So, word of caution if you make soap, usually you're supposed to wear gloves and goggles. I've been making it so long, I violate that rule. I will get criticized by some that say, you don't have your gloves on and stuff. But like I said, I've done it so long, I just feel the gloves get in the way, and I've got my glasses. And yes, I've had some accidents where I've had soap fall and spill on the table and scoop it up, and sometimes erupt, and you know, you can plan on a batch of soap and then something will go wrong, or you think it goes wrong, and then when you finish it, you're like, oh wow, I like the way that turned out. So sometimes you never know what your soap, the end soap, is going to look like. So with the lye, like I said, it's caustic, and I go ahead and make what's called a lye solution, where I mix my lye and water. It's 50% lye and 50% water, and that's what I use as part of my lye. And what I use too is we go what's called a soap calculator, and that's where you plug in your oils that you want to use, and based on the oils that you want to use, it'll tell you how much lye you need and then how much water. And based on that, that's where you come up with your lye amount. And everything should be weighed. You don't just pour like a cup of this or a cup of that. You go by ounces or grams. And if you measure by grams, it's a little bit more precise. I do by ounces. So I'm going to first start, since my oils are kind of solid, kind of break it up. And I know, we'll do this. This is my nice powerful stick that breaks up my solid oils and makes, it liquid. And I have here my two colors because the soap I'm going to make today is cranberry apple marmalade. So we're going to use green for the apple and a reddish color for the cranberry. And I'm going to take a little bit of oil to put in here to disperse. What's in here is micas, and the oil will disperse in here to mix it up. Okay. So I'm going to add my lye. I said you have to be careful because, trust me, this lye, you get it on your skin, will burn. I burnt a hole in my foot, the top of my foot from it. And I'm real bad about stuff. And then this here is the water. And I also added to the water what's called sodium lactate. That also makes for a harder bar and to make it also last longer. Because some soaps can be soft and then it'll run out real quick. So with the sodium lactate, it'll last longer. And it makes the soap set up quicker, so you can cut it quicker. And so what I'm doing here is mixing the water and the lye together to get it to what we call a trace, which is kind of like a pudding consistency. I try to get it a little bit thinner than that because in order to work and play with it with my colors and to swirl it. And I haven't added my fragrance oil yet, and sometimes your fragrance oil will cause your soap to set up real quick, and you can get like soap on a stick, like a stick one, it'll just stick there and stand up, and you can't do anything with it. So you kind of mix it, like I said. And I don't know if you guys can see, it's kind of thick, like it's not as watery. So I'm going to go ahead and add my fragrance oil, and I usually add like a ½ ounce per pound of soap. And this right here is a 3-pound batch of soap. So I'm going to measure out here. And then I kind of like to be generous. Because you want your fragrance to last and smell. So I'm going to add that. And you see how it's like a yellowish color? That's kind of like the vanilla. So you see the color of my soap right now, which is a light pale cream. And yellow's going to make it yellow. And it'll turn it brown towards the end, which is fine. It's just the vanilla content in your fragrance will cause the soap to turn brown. Yeah. Alright. So it's at what we call a thin trace. So I'm going to pour some in here for the green. some here for the red. So, and it's gonna start setting up pretty quick. When you're mixing, if you're using the same instrument to mix it, if you go lighter to darker, it won't mess up your color necessarily. And did you see how dark that mica was? And you see it's not really that dark, but I'm going to stick blend it one quick blast with my other stick blender. And so you got that red color. So it's already starting to turn. Okay, here. And I've got this little foam here. That's to keep it from sticking to the sides and make it easier for me to unmold it. So I'm going to pour this in. See how thick it's gotten? I'm going to add some green. And we'll add a little cranberry color, that is. Sounds good. Just rip it all out. May need to get some air bubbles, sir.
Going fast.
Yes. That's what happens, and sometimes some fragrance oils will keep it thinner longer. So like you want it that way if you want to do some very intricate designs in your soap or whatever. But for this one, this is fine. This consistency. I'm going to swirl it on top. And when you make your soap and you set it and cut it, usually you can cut it within 24 hours, and then you let it cure for like 3 to 4 weeks, which causes the bar to let the water evaporate that's in it, and also to make it, you know, a harder bar to last longer. So here I'm going to go. Give it some texture. And there you have batch of soap that will be ready. And about tomorrow I can cut it and then let it sit on the rack and cure, and it'll be ready to use. Does anybody have any questions?
Do you have a recipe for that group?
The recipe of the soap, I do. I've got tons of recipes. Like I said, I've been making it for 6 years, a little bit more than 6 years, and trial and error, trying different recipes. And so, yes, I formulate all my own recipes. I make shampoo bars, I make liquid soap, I make, like I said, soaps with beer and stuff like that. And I've now started making shampoo, bars, and liquid soap for dogs. And it's all natural and helps with the fleas, and I use
I like your
essential
shirt.
oils with it.
How do you get your recipe? Do you get everything on the internet or don't you do that?
I make up my own.
But I mean, do you give them out, sell them, or?
My
It's
recipes,
actually.
some of them I do,
So I
yes.
told you mine, I'll
Yeah.
be with you.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a
detergent
lot of
every-
research. That there's so
Sound like
much to
fun.
know, and even 6 years later, I'm still learning stuff and things that you can do with making soap. Thank you. And I will say I do have a booth set up. I think it's by the Quilton House with some of my soaps that are ready to use. So they said that, and I didn't even tell you the name of my business. My business is Earth and Magic Essence. And I have a Facebook page and a website, and I do have business cards up there at my booth as well. But you can go there and look, okay?
Thank you. This chair. We just got here at the end of it.
Okay.
Did you use lime?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
Didn't do the ashes?
No,
Have you ever tried that?
I've never tried it with the ashes. I've seen them do it with the ashes, but I'm not.
It's too much sugar.
Yes, it is.
Goodies.
Well, thankfully, I have Piggly Wiggly in my town. They sell it and they know I make soap, so they don't touch it.
I think I got five.
Well, we just
Y'all
had
been over
people
at
get over here. Maybe
No, we haven't. Our son-in-law has.
Yeah, you probably will.
tomorrow.
You let me know.
You don't have
They
time
don't
to
make
go?
soap, so.
We got three.
Okay.
But we can go another one.
Oh, okay.
And I still
Yeah,
put
we've
Our
done
some
son-in-law been on
lime.
motorcycle.
Last
Oh,
time
yeah.
making-
We've done 6 trips since
We
the
had
year.
We got
Well,
to
and
get
see, I
her
just,
back.
a fellow soap maker, she went out of business.
Yeah, from
And so she had like bulk of it, and so I bought it from her. 'Cause
Where
And
is
I'm
that?
not planning on it.
I'm
No,
in
I
San
don't know
Rock
Los Angeles.
area, right,
Good
so
job.
I do it mostly for home, but then I do a lot of shows and festivals around the area.
Is it Ethan? I need to check the
The red button.
India Gibson from Gone with the Wind.
Red button.